Hello everyone. In this lecture, let us see what are the laws of illumination, on what factors the illumination on a surface depends. Generally, the illumination of a surface depends upon the following factors. First one is the illumination E is directly proportional to the luminous intensity of the source, that is number of lumens emitted by the source. That is what the illumination depends, right? So also the illumination of a surface depends on inverse square law. Now let us see what is this inverse square law. So this inverse square law states that the illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the surface square of the distance between the surface and the point source. That means what? So here is a point source, right? So here three different surface areas are taken, A1, A2 and A3. These are nothing but the surface areas of these three different surfaces. So this is a point source. Let me take it as S point source. Its luminous intensity, let us assume as I. So luminous intensity of S is I. Let me suppose I candela. So the luminous flux emitting from the source crossing these three parallel plates having areas A1, A2 and A3 square meters, which are separated by distance what? D1, D2, D3 are the distances from the source of these three different areas, right? Now what is the luminous flux that is reaching A1? Let us see. That is nothing but, we know that luminous flux phi is nothing but luminous intensity I into omega r naught. So it is nothing but luminous intensity into what? Solid angle. These all we have studied in the previous lectures, right? So it is what? I into omega, where omega is what? I into solid angle. How you define solid angle? That is nothing but A1 by D square or not. Area by distance from the source. We have defined it as distance from the source is what? D1. So distance from the source is square. So therefore illumination E1 on area A1 is what? E1 is equals to flux per unit area. Illumination is defined as, so flux per area, that is flux. Luminous flux is what? Luminous flux is nothing but I1 A1 by D square. So I A1 by D square into area is what? 1 by area A1, right? So E1 will be what? I by A1. A1 is cancelled. I by D square is the lux. I by D square is the illumination on the surface A1. Similarly, illumination E2 on area A2 will be what? Implies E2 is equals to, same illumination is constant, by distance now is what? D2 square, right? This is D1, D2 square. Similarly on E3 on A3 is what? I by D3 square. So from where we can write as E1 is to E2 is to E3 as 1 by D1 square is to 1 by D2 square is to 1 by D3 square or not. So hence we have proved that illumination of a surface is inversely proportional to the square of distance between the surface and the point source, right? So this is the proof of inverse square law, right? So next let us look at one more law of illumination. that is Lambert's cosine law. So this law states that illumination E at any point on a surface is directly proportional to the cosine of angle between the normal at that point and the line of flux. If you see, what is he telling is, if this is the point source, now previously I am considering only the normal to the surface. So in the last case it was only normal, directly normal to the point surface. But now if you see, this is a surface now inclined at some angle to the source. In this case, what happens? This Lambert's cosine law tells us. So previously we have found that illumination E is directly proportional to what? I by d square, inversely proportional to the square. But if it is inclined at an angle to the source, then what happens? This Lambert's cosine law tells that if it is inclined at an angle, then the illumination is directly proportional to the cosine of angle between the normal at that point and the line of flux. That is what this Lambert's cosine law is telling to us. Now let us see how to prove it. Now let P be the point source at a certain height h from the plane containing surface CD. Right, this is a surface CD, and let me consider a point source P here. Now this center point O is center of the surface CD when it subtends at an angle omega from the source. Now what I am doing is, I am tilting this surface CD. Now I have to find out when this surface is inclined at some angle to the source, then what happens, I need to find out. So I am making this surface CD tilting at some angle to the source P. So its midpoint I have taken as point O. Now the perpendicular to the source P is, now if you take draw a perpendicular from this tilted surface to the source, that will be what? OP will be the perpendicular, and let me name this tilted surface as AB. Right? Which is inclined, this perpendicular is inclined at an surface to at an angle to the normal at an angle theta. Once again let me tell you, I have taken a surface CD, tilted it such that it makes an angle omega with the point source, that is solid angle is omega, but its normal is OP. Whose normal? The normal to the surface, tilted surface AB is OP. So this normal is making an angle theta with the perpendicular to the surface. Right? Now from definition, what our definition is telling? The normal surface, that is tilted surface AB, is cosine of the angle between the normal and the line of flux. Angle is what? Our angle is theta. So C is CD, surface is CD, actual surface is CD, and cosine of the angle is what? Cos theta or not. From where we can find out surface CD is AB by cos theta or not. Right? Now next. Now illumination, let us find the illumination now. Illumination of area AB, if you want to find out, EAB is nothing but luminous flux per unit area, where luminous flux is given by I into omega by A. Right? Now EAB from this can be written as I into omega by A is nothing but what? Area of AB or not? Area of the surface where our surface is AB. Now from inverse square law we have found out that EAB is I by D square or not. Right? Now let us find out illumination of area CD. Similar to the last case, ECD will be I into omega by CD, right? Where from equation 1 we can write it as I into omega by CD is what? Area of AB by cos theta or not from this equation. Let me take it as equation 1, right? So that is nothing but AB by cos theta. So ECD can be written as omega I by area of AB into cos theta, where this one is nothing but what? EAB or not. That means ECD is equals to EAB into cos theta. Can I write it? From all these one I can write as ECD equal to I by D square into cos theta. Right? Hope you understood. Now next, similarly, now I need to calculate D, distance. Now let me consider triangle OEP, right? I am considering triangle OEP. From this triangle, if you see, cos theta will be what? This is theta. Cos theta will be what? This one, H, right? This one is what? OE. So cos theta is equals to H by this is D, right? So I can write D is equals to what? H by cos theta. So if you substitute this D in the previous equation, that is this one, I'll be getting ECD is equals to what? I by H by cos theta square into cos theta, where it gives ECD is equals to I by H square cos cube theta, right? So this is the conclusion we need to reach. So this equation is called cosine cube law. It is telling that illumination at a surface is proportional to the cube of the cosine of the angle between the normal surface and the line of flux, right? I by H square into cos cube theta. This is about Lambert's cosine law, and this is all about different laws of illumination. Hope you have understood. Thank you.